details matter when it comes to book covers, and sometimes you can actually hide some Easter eggs inside the cover that people can discover if they read the story, but also if they just do a little research on what's going on the cover. So I want to talk about Virtually Sleeping Beauty a little bit because I did some cool things that you can take into consideration when planning your cover as well. So Virtually Sleeping Beauty is my Sleeping Beauty retelling. It's a dystopian, but it also has a lot of fantasy things because it's about a girl who is playing in a dystopian universe. She's playing a virtual video game where she's kind of like strapped into a chair and she's playing a virtual video game in a fantasy scape where she's battling dragons and all of those things. So inside of this book, we've got a lot of digital and a lot of fantasy things. So if we're looking here at the cover, you can see I've got the palace or the castle. There's a lot of details in here. You can't see them real well on screen, but there's a lot of details in here that you'll discover while reading the story. The dragon obviously is going to have something to do with it. The coloring is very important. You'll discover it while reading the story. But if you look a little bit higher, I've got binary, I've got computer coding, I've got some things that are important. Now, I could have just typed a bunch of numbers. I could have typed just a bunch of letters. I did very clearly blur some of it, so it's hard to really tell what it is. But everything written here, all of this binary is actual legitimate binary. They are specific words or specific phrases that I turned into binary code. So you're not going to understand that by reading the story. If, however, you are somebody who's super into this story and you just want to consume all of the details, you probably spent a lot of time paying attention to the front and back cover of this book. You're probably going to notice that this spells some things out. Inside of the binary, I have created phrases and different things that are a little bit Easter egg-like that you can actually go through and figure out what I've written. And I can lean heavily into that. I've done a lot of like very techie-based covers before where we've written in Easter eggs, special things, and if people go through the process of actually converting that into the English language, they can learn special details, they get little secret things. There's a lot that can potentially go into covers in terms of Easter eggs, especially in the tech space. So when you see book covers, if you see a lot of different little elements, maybe they're just for looks, maybe they're just cool, or maybe they are Easter eggs. Depending on the cover designer, depending on the author, if you know the author really well and they like to hide things like me, you can pretty much guess all the little details are hiding things. And I've hidden things in so many of my book covers that people don't know about. I don't really talk about them. I just wait for people to maybe find them. I hide things on my website for people to find. I hide things inside of the interactive Choose Your Own Adventure games that I build for my books for people to find. There's so many Easter eggs that I have just embedded into my entire author career, from everything I do, from my social media, to my websites, to my books, to the interiors and the exterior of those books. Easter eggs, one of my favorite things. And if you're smart, you can catch a lot of, but most people don't catch all of them. So there's a lot that you can do in my author career. And if you know that it's an author like me who loves to rip your heart out, who loves to be sneaky, who loves to hide things, who loves to tease things to her audience, you better be looking at book covers very intently for small, tiny little details. You better be looking at the print versions, the ebook versions, the digital versions, because sometimes you gotta zoom really far in to see those things. But it's really a very fun way to engage and interact with readers. If you're one of my readers, I hide a lot. I hide so much all over for you to just discover. And when you do, it's a treasure trove of information. So the more you look, the more you learn. But I love a good book cover with some hidden things. And my binary here does spell some things out. The binary that's blurred spells some things out. There's some very interesting things. If you can get super creative and crafty, you can figure some of it out. Not all of it, but some of it. And if you are an author who is figuring out what you're going to be doing to design your books, you've got some cool options for those Easter eggs inside of your book cover, your chapter headers. You guys know I did a hidden pictures chapter header for the entirety of the Golden series so that you can actually find like 20 different hidden pictures in every chapter header in every book. There's so many cool things there. But you can hide things all over the place. It's Easter eggs, and we can get our Taylor Swift on with our dropping of the Easter eggs throughout our author careers. I love it. You might love it too. Let me know what type of Easter eggs you like to see as an author and as a reader down in the comments below, and follow along for more fun, interesting, quirky things that we can do inside of the publishing space to make it a little bit more entertaining for the super fans. We'll see you in the upcoming daily episodes helping you navigate the world of your publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable author year ever and live your best author life while also still having a life. We'll see you then.